What is leadership? Seriously, what is the true definition of the word leadership? If you say you know the answer, I'm going to tell you you're wrong, because Professor Ross determined that there are over 200 published definitions of the word leadership. So, what does that really mean for what we're doing here? I'm Eric, Leadership Development. This week we're going to talk about what leadership truly is. I mean, we've danced around it for 100 videos, but we've never truly talked about what is leadership. If there are over 200 definitions of the word leadership, and there are over 60,000 titles in the Amazon catalog about leadership, do we truly know what leadership is? I mean, for me growing up in the Marine Corps, leadership was taught to be the same as management. But the secret is they're totally different. They're so different that it impacts the way people truly follow your lead. What I discovered was my ability to inspire others is not something that they teach in the Marine Corps. It's not part of the principles or the traits that the Marine Corps teaches. Leadership and management are two different things. Leadership is what gets the people inspired, what gives them hope, what makes them want to be part of the journey that you're providing or that you are taking charge of. Management serves the people that hired you, the trust that they have in you to be able to accomplish the results that they desire. So when you look at these two, it's hard for me to imagine that leadership and management are the same. And I wish I knew that in the Marine Corps. I wish I knew that by separating the two, that I would have done much better with my managerial skills. I was great at inspiring people. I was great at getting people to follow my vision. I struggled to get the results certain bosses were looking for. So how do we get past this whole dilemma of what leadership is? Well, let's first define for ourselves, for the individual, you, what does leadership mean to you? I usually start a workshop with a group or an organization. This is one of the first areas that we talk about. We talk about what is your individual definition of leadership. And then as everyone creates it and writes it down, and we talk about how it's an ever-evolving definition because things change us. Experiences, information, or just the culture itself can change how we perceive what leadership is. So we take these great definitions, and for organizations, we bring them together. What is common through all these definitions? Then we create the organization's definition of leadership by using what was common throughout the leadership team's ideas of what they thought leadership was. And through collaboration, we're able to create the organization's definition of what is leadership, and we start creating the leadership team's vision, mission, and core values. And this is how we get to the end result, to having the effective leadership team, is by creating what the organization views leadership as. So are you sticking with me so far? Hey, if you are, hey, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up. Tell us you like what we're talking about here that's helping you become the leader that you need to be for your community. So now that we've defined what leadership is for your organization and for yourself, let's determine what categorizes under leadership, what categorizes under managerial skills, and what complements the two. That's the key. Where does the two areas intersect? And this is where I wish I had in place for myself during my time in the Marine Corps, to be a more effective officer for the people that promoted me into positions of responsibility. So we've talked in previous videos the role of the leader, which is to create a culture of trust, to create the commitment to excellence, and to show that we care about the people we have. That is what you do as a leader. What you do as a manager is you put people in a position where you think they do best. You're managing the skills, you're managing the talent. So where does it intersect? So if we talked about leaders create a culture of trust, commitment to excellence, and show that they care, how do we make those three things happen? How does a culture of trust come about? You have to give trust to earn trust. It's reciprocated. It's reciprocal. when you show interest in others, they feel great about themselves. One thing that I get a lot of is people are so selfish that they just want to take. But a great leader knows that and doesn't mind it. They use it to their advantage. And that's what's important for you to understand is, yes, people only want to take for themselves and not really give. But you know what? The leader don't care. The leader doesn't care because they know how to switch it around. They know how to make things happen because of the desire of the individual, the selfishness of the individual, to be able to get them to follow their vision, to follow the leader's vision by simply taking care of the people. There's a fallacy out there that leaders have to be brave, strong, smart. They have to be the epitome, the model of perfection. Being a leader is not being the smartest person in the room. Being a leader is having the complementary smart people with you in the room. You are smart in one area, but if you surround yourself with other people that help fill in your gaps, that is leadership. That creating that leadership team creates that sense of perfection. A leadership team is more effective than just the individual leader themselves. And that's what's funny about when we come into our department head meetings or our vice president meetings, that everyone's so siloed off that they only want to talk about or make decisions or put in their opinions about what benefits their department, their area, their silo. When effectively the CEO, the owner, whoever the big boss on top brought these people in to their positions was not to just manage their silos, but to be part of the leadership team that helps make decisions that benefit the whole organization. And these VPs, these department heads, they forget that when they're brought in and going, hey, what is the best way we can collaborate a solution for? And not just benefiting your individual department. It has to be a collaboration of what brings all the departments together to come out to the best solution possible. When you're a leader, you have to lead change, because the most successful leaders are the ones that know that change is inevitable, knowing that if they can control the change, that they will not be left behind or reacting to when the environment changes upon them. They are trying to stay ahead of it and control it. And that's what I need you to do as an upcoming leader. How can you take control of change? Taking control of change is just understanding the environment around you, knowing what will make the improvements, and asking and just paying attention to what your people are telling you. Having those people that are looking forward in their individual areas, saying, hey, we see this coming, we see that coming, taking that heed and not just going, oh, that's just an outlier, I wouldn't worry about that. Everything's an outlier. But if you can stay on top of it and be able to be mindful of all the things, that inevitable changes that are coming, you can control the way your organization maneuvers and navigates through the turbulent times. And the best way to understand that is knowing your people, helping them understand what their identity is, what their purpose is, and how they can grow. By creating your succession plans, by knowing that there is turnover. No matter how much we talk about being efficient and the cost of turnover, turnover happens. It's part of change. Why? Because some of your great people deserve to be in greater roles of responsibility that you just don't have to offer. Sometimes people just need to be let go because they're just not meeting the cultural criteria of excellence. Whatever it is, knowing that you have to create a succession plan is important. Knowing the groom your next set of people is important. You have to understand that change is inevitable. And if you look out for the identity, purpose, and growth, you'll be well ahead of that change and be able to create a succession plan that makes your organization greater and be able to outperform the turbulent times. We talked about showing how you care. And we've talked in this video about how we use the framework from Maslow's hierarchy of needs to be able to figure out how do we show our people that we care. We are now using these framework to be able to show the people we care about them. We care about your basic needs. We care about your protection. We care about your belonging. We care about your esteem, and we care about your growth. Leadership is complex. There's no right answer. All these other posers want you to believe that leadership is simple. If leadership was so simplistic with their memes and their great ideas, everyone would be a leader. But guess what? The best of the leaders are the ones that understand the complexity of leadership. They embrace the complexity. They thrive in the complexity. And it makes them that much greater than anyone else, making others want to follow them because they understand the complexity. They help navigate the turbulence, and they show people the hope of what the future can bring. I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. If you like this video, hey, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up. Let us know how we're doing by leaving us feedback in the comments. Tell us what you think is important to you, or also, hey, what is your definition of leadership? Share with us your idea of what leadership is to you and your organization. We can then collaborate all that together and be able to create a video that says, hey, this is what leadership means to this audience. If you missed last week's video, we talk about the first leadership principle the Marine Corps teaches for effective leadership. It actually can be applied for everyone else. And check out these videos as well. They'll help you to become that most effective leader that you need to be. We'll talk to you again next video.